amazing artist, and welcome back to Art While Apart with me, Miss H. Today we are going to make our very own paper sculptures, and we're going to have those paper sculptures look as though they are roller coasters. So to begin, let's go over something. So a sculpture is something that we build up. It is 3D, and we can see all the way around it. Here is an example of one type of sculpture. This is wooden and it is carved. And what's important is that it is 3D and I can see all the way around it. That is what makes it a sculpture. So these are pieces of paper, right? And pieces of paper are two-dimensional. They are flat. And if we take paper and we just put paper on top and it's flat, two-dimensional, we have made a collage. A collage is when you take paper and you glue it on paper. Well, today we are not making a collage. Instead, we're going to make sculptures. So we need to take this paper that is flat in 2D and make it three-dimensional somehow. We need to make this pop off of the paper so that we can build our sculptures. Well, how are we gonna do that? I want you to put your imagination caps on for a moment. And let's pretend that this little strip of paper is a birdie. Do you see it flapping? It's flapping its wings. It's so pretty. Now this birdie is going to be a part of my sculpture, all right? This birdie is going to come in, it's going to fly, and it wants to stand on this paper. But if I just put it down, it can't stand. Well, think about this, artist. What do we stand on? What do we have that we use to stand on? Your feet? Yes, we do. We stand on our feet, and all sculptures have feet that they stand on. Sometimes in art, we call this a base. Well, we need to turn this flat little birdie into a sculpture. So we need to give our birdie some feet. So I'm going to scooch down to one side. Now I'm going to make the feet. I'm going to bend my paper. And there's a little footy. Hi. Now I'm going to squeeze over to this end and bend my little piece of paper. And now that we've bent our paper and we have given our birdie two stinky feet, they can now stand on its feet. It can also run. It can also do the can. It can even do the splits. You're okay, birdie, I promise. But now we need to put this little birdie onto our paper. So I'm going to show you how to do that because we're going to take these pieces of paper and we're going to start creating our roller coaster sculpture. You ready? Okay, let's begin. So to begin, you will need some paper. I'm just using some scrap paper that I had left over. Maybe some markers. You will need scissors and glue. To make your paper strips, take your paper, fold it back, flip it over to the other side, fold down and crease. Flip your paper to the other side, fold down and crease. Flip, fold, crease. And then that's about all that I'm going to use for that paper. But when you unfold it, you can see that now you have some little strips of paper. Well, to make your sculpture look more interesting, it would be a good idea to add some designs to this paper. You can use the elements of art to help you come up with some designs. I'm going to use line, so I had straight lines and curvy lines. I'm going to make a little design here by doing some cross hatching. That's when I make lines in one direction and then cross over them with lines going the opposite direction. So those are some lines. You could do that. You could also use shape and make shapes. You could use color Different colors would make your paper look really good. What else? You could also create a pattern. Remember, we've learned lots about pattern. You could even try to make some textures on your paper. Since you are the artist, you can make these strips of paper look however you want. You could even use any materials that you have at home. Maybe even paint you would want to use. That is totally up to you. This is just how I'm going to do it, so you can get some ideas. Also notice how I'm going back over my designs with some different colors. I'm layering and I'm just making this look more interesting. So I challenge you to try that also, artists. It always looks better if we can add maybe more than one color to create some interest in your art. And then when you are happy with your designs, it is time to cut out the strips of paper. So just cut along the fold line that you created. Okay, you could also have different thickness of strips. You could have thin strips, really thick strips. You could make your strips long, you could make them short, really whatever you would like. I would have some varieties, so different lengths and thickness of strips, just to make your artwork more interesting. Another idea is that you could paint some paper and then fold the paper and cut those up into strips. That would make your strips look really cool. So if you can, that would be awesome. All right, now it's time to build our sculpture. I'm going to use a plate, but if you just have paper, that will work totally fine as well. So I'm going to use my plate as the base. This is where I'm going to glue my strips of paper to create my paper sculpture roller coaster. So I grabbed Mr. Glue Bottle. I know he's open because I see that little gap and oops, I accidentally squeezed out some glue. Make sure you're being very careful here, artists. This could get messy. Okay, take your piece of paper. Remember, we need to fold feet on our strips of paper. So fold it back and then scooch, scooch, scooch to the other end. Fold. And we made 2 stinky pairs of feet. Now I can fold my paper and make my loops. But if I just set it on the piece of paper, it's not going to be able to stand. So I need to put some glue on the bottom of the feet for our strips of paper. So, take a little bit. Your birdie might be a little ticklish here, but that's okay. You just need a little bit of glue. Then you're going to scooch over. Put some glue on the other foot. Flip it over. Press one foot down. Hold it with your finger. Press the other foot down and hold it. Now we're going to hold this for about 10 seconds. So count to 10 while holding down the feet of your birdie. To make sure that it really stays, take your fingers and massage your birdie's feet. This birdie's going to be very happy with you. Another idea is you could actually take your hands to the other side, pinch, pinch, and that will hold down those feet really, really well. That way your loop is now 3-dimensional. You have made the paper pop up. It is built up. It is 3-dimensional. It has feet. This is a paper sculpture. Let me show you some other ways that you could fold your paper to create some loops. So our paper strips are straight, but we can bend them to make them more curvy or wavy. You could even bend them to make shapes. Remember, because when a line bends, a shape begins. Okay, here's one idea of maybe how a way you could fold your paper is I'm just going to do the accordion fold. It's where I fold it back and then I crease. I'm going to fold back and crease, fold back and crease. Keep going until you get to the end of your strip of paper. Give it a nice strong fold, and then voila, you made some zigzag lines. Look how cool that looks. I could put this strip over my other strip or under. The choice is yours. You could even put it off to the side if you wanted. You have a lot of freedom with how to do this project, so I really want you to make this look how you want it to be. After I decide where it's going to go, I need to glue down my birdie's feet so that I can have this pop up and be a sculpture. Hold down the feet with your fingers and count to 10. This is going to make sure that those feet are really stuck onto the paper plate. Wow, already this is looking awesome. That looks like a super fun little roller coaster to go ride on. Here's some other ideas you might want to try. So first fold your feet. Then if you start to bend this strip of paper, you can start to make some shapes. So look, I could even fold it and it makes a circle. I could fold it and it makes what looks like a triangle. I had to play with it a little bit, but look, if I pinch the top of it, yeah, that could look like a triangle when I glue it down on my paper. So I think I'm going to do that. You could try this. You experiment and see what type of shapes you could make by bending your strips of paper. Decide where it's going to go. Put a little bit of glue on each foot. Hold it down for 10 seconds, and then you can move on to your next strip of paper. Here's how it is looking so far. I'm super happy with it. With your strips of paper, you could try to twist it, and that could create a really cool and fun looking loop. So I just take my paper and I start to twist it. So look at my fingers, how I'm using my fingers to help twist the paper. And then I'm holding it with both hands. Then I can fold the feet, put a little bit of glue on each foot, put it down on my paper, and hold for 10 seconds. Since this loop is a little trickier to make, I'll probably need to hold this for longer. So that's just a little tip that I wanted to give you. I'm using my fingers to pinch both sides of the paper plate, and that's to make sure that my feet are really stuck down on the paper. Another idea is you could make a little spiral. So take a pencil and you're going to wrap this paper around the pencil. So I hold it down. I'm going to use my finger to kind of keep it in place. And then I'm going to just wrap it around. I'm kind of like twisting and rolling it with my fingers. And it's going to create a really cool little loop. You could leave it like this, or to make it more 3D, I'm going to kind of pull it out. Ooh, it's all boingy. It's super fun. And that's just going to make my sculpture stand out even more. I need to make 1 foot for this strip of paper because I'm actually going to make it just stand up. You could do that too. That's just another idea and a way you can make your paper pop up and become 3-dimensional. And here it is. Here is my fantastic, super fun paper sculpture roller coaster. Oh, it would be so fun to go and ride all these loop-de-loops. When you finish, make sure that you close your glue bottle. If it's a little messy, get a paper towel and just clean it off. That will keep Mr. Glue Bottle nice and happy and clean. And then also you could continue and add some more to this. I'm going to use marker to add some designs by creating lines on the border there. That'd be a great idea for you to add to your paper sculpture. Okay, artists, it's time to get started. Have fun, take chances, and stay curious. Bye.